Welcome back to Football Daily, where today we've made a squad full of players who sold their soul. Goalkeeper, Bruce Grobbelaar. Zimbabwean Grobbelaar has a trophy cabinet that is the envy of most other footballers. 6 league titles, 3 FA Cups, and to top it off, a European Cup. But as his Liverpool career started to wind down, the keeper was up to some shady activities. Grobbelaar spent some time on loan at Stoke before his Anfield career finished, and in November 1994 he was accused by the Sun of match fixing in order to benefit a betting syndicate. After 2 trials, the jury could not come to a final verdict and was cleared of all charges just 3 years later. It didn't get much better for Grobbelaar though, as his attempt to sue the Sun for libel backfired and was awarded just £1 in compensation and had to pay the Suns £500,000 legal costs. Defender, Wayne Bridge. Wayne Bridge had a tough time towards the end of his playing career. John Terry started sleeping with his ex-girlfriend, and worst of all, he had to play for Sunderland. But the left-back during his heyday picked up a league title, an FA Cup, 36 England caps, and was even in the Premier League Team of the Season back in 2002. After he retired, he went down a different route to most professional footballers, appearing on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here in 2016. During his time on the show, the former pro actually came across well to the public, talking about the John Terry situation and getting stuck into whatever challenges he faced. His TV career doesn't seem to be finished there either, talking up the possibility of appearing on Strictly Come Dancing, in possibly the strangest change of career since Dion Dublin started hosting Homes Under the Hammer. Defender, Neil Ruddock. The only footballer to appear on both I'm a Celebrity and Celebrity Big Brother, there was no way Neil Ruddock was escaping this list. A tough centre-half who came through the ranks at Millwall, the Englishman forged a decent career for himself despite a lack of technical talent. Seemingly wanting to play for every London club possible, Ruddock's career highlight came in 1993 when he joined Liverpool for around £2.5 million. Ruddock appeared over 100 times in the league for the Reds, but controversy was never far from the centre-half, and this trend followed into retirement. Bankruptcy was on the cards, and as a result, Razor Ruddock was appearing on as many reality TV shows as possible. And paralleling his football career, he failed to reach the dizzying heights of winning either I'm a Celeb or Big Brother. Defender, Sol Campbell. If you're a working class Spurs supporter, it's quite possible that Sol Campbell is the closest real representation of the devil. The Lily Whites captain moved to Arsenal on a free transfer and won the double in his first season, then wanted to run as the Tories candidate for the Mayor of London. And invincible during his time at the Gunners, the latter stages of the centre-half's career wasn't glittered in glory. Campbell signed for Notts County and played just 1 game for the freshly cash-rich side, whose new Middle Eastern owners convinced him they had ambitions of eventually winning the Premier League. But it was after his retirement which started to sour his reputation to some football fans. He claimed that Labour's proposed mansion tax was madness, described shooting birds as lovely banter, and supported Brexit. What a lovely bloke. Midfielder, Jamie O'Hara. Who, we hear you ask? Well, Jamie O'Hara was a regular in the Premier League during the early 2010s, playing for the likes of Spurs, Portsmouth, Wolves and Fulham. Nowadays he's playing for Billericay Town, stuck in a league so low that I can't even pronounce it. There's not much wrong with dropping down into the lower tiers when you're past your peak, but going on Big Brother before you've even retired from football is a sight no one wants to see. O'Hara was frank throughout though, claiming he needed the money to help pay for his divorce. And in the show, he had a fling with Paul Gascoigne's adopted daughter and ended up lasting until near the end of the show. The midfielder gained headlines again during April though, going viral with his teammates' pre-match ritual of singing R. Kelly before being fined 2 weeks' wages just 3 days later for getting into an altercation with a young fan in the crowd. Midfielder, David Dunn. Lancashire born and bred, David Dunn is a Blackburn icon. A Rovers Academy product, Dunn spent 13 seasons in total at Ewood Park, only with a 4-year stint at Birmingham and 8 appearances at Oldham before retirement prevented him from becoming a one-club man. Despite being technically gifted, the midfielder gained a reputation for having a bit of timber on him, and being on the tubby side prevented him from hitting the heights he could have, a reputation which became more prominent after the Venkies took over the club. The Indian chicken business has tried its hardest to destroy Blackburn Rovers since acquiring the side. But the most humorous part of their takeover was the advert the players had to do with their fried chicken. The image of David Dunn absolutely tearing apart a drumstick remains vivid in our memories, and is ironically a symbol of what the Venky's have done to his beloved club. Midfielder, Xavi. Leaving Barcelona after over 750 appearances, Xavi's move to Al Sadd isn't the reason why he's on this list, though it would have been nice to see him retire as a one-club man. But the Spanish midfielder is now an ambassador for the 2022 Qatar World Cup. The midfielder bowed out in style in Catalonia, winning the treble in his final campaign before bidding an emotional farewell. But his move to Qatari side Al Sadd did raise some eyebrows, as the country's dubious treatment of human rights is a stark contrast to what Barcelona stand for. To make matters worse, Xavi was given the role of ambassador for the World Cup in 2022, becoming the face of Generation Amazing, visiting refugees in Jordan to coach youngsters in the beautiful game. Though a fantastic project, this is largely seen as a way of saving face after the treatment of workers helping building stadiums for the World Cup, where the death toll is expected to reach 4,000 before the tournament begins. Midfielder, Zinedine Zidane. A legendary footballer and the only manager to win back-to-back Champions Leagues, how did Zizou ever sell his soul? Well, much like Xavi, it's his involvement in Qatar's dubious World Cup bid which puts him onto our list. As a player, Zidane's body language combined with his impeccable technique made him a joy to watch. Perhaps his performance against Brazil in the 2006 World Cup was his most memorable, dominating the reigning champions with a man-of-the-match performance at 34 years of age with consummate ease. Then came the infamous headbutt, and shortly thereafter his retirement. But before he got involved with the Los Blancos setup, he was appointed as an ambassador for Qatar's 2022 World Cup bid. Of course, that didn't come without a hefty amount of cash, with the Qataris handing him £1.9 million for his services. We thought better of you, Zidane. We really did. Forward, Scott Sinclair. Scott Sinclair right now must feel like the king of the world. He's just got unbeaten with Celtic whilst winning the treble and was crowned Scotland's Footballer of the Year in a season to remember. This 25-goal season renaissance was needed for the forward, who's entering his peak, and Sinclair's career was going by the wayside after a disastrous spell at Man City. The season before his £8 million move to Manchester, he starred for Swansea, scoring 8 goals and getting 4 assists as the Swans were safe in mid-table. Seen as just a player to fill out City's homegrown quota, Sinclair's promising career stagnated, as he failed to score a goal for 3 seasons. He made just 19 appearances for the Sky Blues before an ill-fated loan spell at West Brom, where he barely made the first-team squad. At least he's finally reviving his career in the luxurious city of Glasgow. Forward, Michael Owen. Monotone Michael is now boring us to death with his mundane punditry. But back in his prime, which lasted about 3 years, Owen was a lethal goalscorer. Winning the Ballon d'Or at just 21 years of age, the striker was averaging a goal every other game and had the world at his feet. Injuries and ill-advised moves were the bane of Owen's career, and he had the sympathy of England fans across the country. Shortly after retirement though, it was a different story, with viewers wanting to pelt the TV remote through the screen whenever he started a sentence. But the reason Owen's on this list is because of his chase of the Emirati oil dollar, with the former superstar appearing in possibly one of the worst adverts ever created. His role in the first group's promo about property developments, where Owen's acting skills are put to the test as he sits in a static helicopter green screened around the city. You need to see it to believe it. Trust me, it's so bad. Forward, Cristiano Ronaldo. When you're Cristiano Ronaldo, you get offered a lot of money to pretty much advertise any old shit. The Portuguese forward's recent advertising ventures are a perfect example of that. From the ridiculous facial fitness pal to the six-pad, which is supposed to help you tone your way to a six-pack through just standing up with a pad stuck to your body. Ronaldo really has no shame when it comes to whoring himself out. Even when it comes to his own brand, he is now even selling CR7 jeans. Who can blame him though? Cristiano is getting an absolute fortune and it isn't affecting him on the pitch whatsoever, as seen by scoring 2 goals in the Champions League final and pretty much securing himself the 2017 Ballon d'Or.
So we hope you enjoyed that, and if you want to check out more of our videos then click here on screen. Don't forget to like and subscribe and get on our Snapchat and our Twitter.